Almost every Origin companion have undergone several physical changes throughout the game development, and some more than others. Gale in previous builds had more of a rounder face shape, his hair was not as lusciously detailed as it is now, and his beard, well. Gale looked more like a biker in a robe compared to the immaculate super wizard we know today. Shadowhart underwent a couple changes. If you look at the footage from PAX East 2020, you can notice more details added on the face. Signature scar is still there though, and it's quite hard to say what they did to make them so different. And honestly, her previous appearance wasn't even that bad. Much better than whatever happened in Community Update 3 however. Astarion is one of the companions who got changed the least. In fact, it is quite hard to see if anything was even changed. But let's be honest, there wasn't even a need to change anything, he was already perfect. Now Wyll is a special case. While his physical appearance wasn't changed a lot, his backstory was changed quite considerably. Originally Wyll had some history with the goblins, as they were responsible for taking his eye.
You! Sing for me, Roach! Tell me everything you know!
While Wyll did try to be a good person, it was clear he was capable of more dark actions and looked like a day away from becoming a full-on villain. This change did spark some controversy among the community, as his character was seen as a far more complex individual. Eventually, Larian Studios did rewrite him to be the heroic Blade of Frontiers we know today.
But the people of the Sword Coast call me the Blade of Frontiers, champion of the meek, defender of the innocent.
Bazel, like Astarion and Wyll, had very few changes to their physical appearance. In earlier versions she was a bit more aggressive on the player, but Larian toned that down. Writer Kevin Van Ord said, "She is probably one of the companions that changed the least throughout the entirety of development. She was so very well defined from the get-go. And that they found her voice instantly." Now Karlach is the one character that underwent the most physical changes. In previous builds, she looked a lot more like the average tiefling from the Druid's Grove. She got more defined eyes, signature broken horn, cooler outfit, and a stronger shape. Everything was completely altered. Her backstory is still similar to the one in release version though. You are probably already aware that there are multiple different screams when using the rage ability on Barbarian, from male to female. However, did you also know that each companion also has their own distinct rage scream? When traveling with both Shadowhart and Wyll in your party, there is a chance of a dialogue explaining the Y in Wyll's name.
So, Wyll with a Y. Why?
Why? That's right.
But why?
Why? A great uncle's name, my father said. But I just figured he couldn't spell.
Each character's body visibly changes depending on the temperature and damage taken. At low health, your character is visibly beaten up with cuts and bruises. And in areas with extreme temperatures, like the Adamantium Forge, they will be drenched in sweat. When playing as a paladin and breaking one of your oaths, the Oathbreaker Knight will appear in your camp, who is there for you to reclaim your oath at a small price. However, did you know if there are any enemies in the camp, he will also engage in combat? Shadowhart isn't able to read the Selûnite scripture in the Owlbear Cave. Because, obviously.
Cabbages! My beautiful cabbages!
In Act 3, there is a man named Geezer Loris who can be found in the city of Baldur's Gate. He can be seen crying over a pile of cabbages littering the ground, an obvious reference to the cabbage vendor in Avatar: The Last Airbender, where there is a running joke that the gang's shenanigans always end up in the destruction of the cabbage vendor's produce.
My cabbages! This place is worse than Omash! McCarthy! Ah, my cabbages!
Cabbages! My beautiful cabbages!
Do you know how hard it is to get those cabbages into? Wait. The stoic stance. Calming presence. You're one of those monastic types. You stay clear of my cabbages. You're sort of done enough damage as it is.
There is a patron in Sheres's Caress in Act 3 who looks quite similar to a certain monster hunter from another game, who also likes to support hard-working women.
I'm tired. Like to relax with a beautiful woman, preferably an elf.
You've chosen well.
Inside the Wailing Moon in Act 2, behind the bar counter is a bat with nails on it, called the Rat Bat. A possible reference to the rat stick, which Charlie uses in Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That's a new rat stick, dude.
Yeah.
And you can bash up a whole bunch of rats with one quick strike, so it's more humane.
Yeah? Oh, man.
Ever wondered why Asterion or your half-elven character sleep in this pose? Well, it is possible they are not sleeping but meditating. In the Forgotten Realms setting in D&D, which Baldur's Gate 3 is set in, half-elves and elves can go into a trance state which also has the same effects as sleep. They are technically still aware of their surroundings compared to normal sleepers, and in this trance-like state they refresh their bodies and minds. Karlach has a teddy bear in her camp, which when hovered over is named Clive. And speaking of camp details, Lae'zel's training dummy is outfitted as a mind flayer. If these are the sort of videos you enjoy, then drop a like and a subscribe button. And if you want more useless facts video, comment down below. And of course, stay tuned.